My partner left me, so I told everyone he doesn't have cancer. This was originally posted in True Off My Chest, original post, February 9th, 2025. My partner told me when we first got together that he has cancer, and if his operation doesn't go well, it could be terminal. He said his treatments have also made him infertile. So imagine our shock and joy when we found out I was expecting at the start of 2024. We now have a beautiful 5-month-old daughter who is perfectly healthy and thriving, and he is in remission. Y'all, I know it's like the first 2 sentences and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but like, is this like the most elaborate baby trap situation we've ever seen? My pregnancy was difficult and lonely because of all the intense treatments he went through while waiting for his operation. I did a lot on my own, knowing he desperately needed this to have the best chance possible of shrinking his tumor before having it removed, so we can have a long, happy life together as a family. He is currently living with his mom while he is in recovery, so that it takes the pressure off me caring for both him and our baby until he is well enough to move into our new home with us. He still comes to our house and we go to his mom's all the time, so our baby isn't missing him. And on Wednesdays, he has his daddy-daughter days where it's just the 2 of them to make sure they are bonding well, and he has the practice until he is well enough to care for her at home full time and give me a little break too. Last week, we had an attempted break-in at the house. Editor's note, OOP posted about it a few days ago, but it was deleted. I asked him to come over and stay here while I'm waiting for the locks to be changed because I'm scared, but he wouldn't. I was talking to his mom too, who slipped up telling me he wasn't home. Long story short, this is Reddit. I'm sure you can see where this is going. We argued for over 24 hours before my suspicions became too much, and I went to Facebook. It took me less than an hour to find the first 2 women. During my pregnancy, I was suspicious of a lot of things and put it all down to my hormones, as he would continuously tell me that I am paranoid and hurting him when I ask. One thing my paranoia just wouldn't let up about was his cancer and his treatments. I asked his mom about it, who told me he doesn't have cancer, but he is having treatments. He has an autoimmune disease, which he receives transfusions for. Very serious, but nowhere near terminal, and no operations required. She also informed me he was in rehab, not hospital. He was addicted to cocaine and was trying to recover for me and our baby. Hold the fucking phone. What is happening right now? So not only did he not have cancer, but also he's cheating on her. But also, you're having a baby with this man and you never bothered to check his Facebook? Hello? Like, you should have done this hour of due diligence before you popped a whole ass human being out of your vagine, bro. Did she say how long they've been dating? I need more info into this relationship. This is insane. I never mentioned to him that I knew. I assumed it was the embarrassment of wanting to get clean without me knowing so he could be a good partner and dad. I was so proud of him for getting that help that I never spoke about it. With his autoimmune disease, his mom explained how brutal it has been for him and that he did have chemo a few years back, so maybe that's why he's confused. Pregnancy brain is a real thing, or maybe I'm just too blindly in love because I accepted this and never questioned it again. So homegirl knew that he didn't actually have cancer and he was in rehab because he was a literal drug addict, and you were just fine with that. Speechless. I have no words. Like, don't get me wrong, this guy is bad. I'm also kind of like, girl, there were so many flags. The flags were not redder. And it's not like there was, oh, one here, oh, one way in the distance. These are glaring, honey. I get that it's hard to like admit that you have a problem, but lying that you have cancer and then accepting that lie and not only continuing your relationship with them, but then bringing a child into the equation? Damn, I thought it'd be messy, but I didn't know it was gonna be this messy, bro. After discovering the first 2 women, I sent my partner a message telling him to let his girlfriend know I'm asking after her and not to bother coming home anymore. I've had the locks changed from the break-in so he can't get in. He panicked and started begging me to answer the phone and let him come see me so he can explain everything. I started to see everything through clear eyes for the first time and realized how long he had been gaslighting me for, and told him no. Realizing he couldn't get through to me and now aware I was trying to contact his girlfriend, he panicked and went to her instead. During that time, I found a photo she had shared of the 2 of them and shared it to my profile with the caption, "Can someone please ask this woman to contact me?" me. She instantly blocked me, but her sister got in touch with me instead. Apparently, the family has never trusted him and knew something was wrong. This affair is serious enough to have met the family. She says he has told her not to speak to me as I'm a deranged stalker he slept with once years ago and have been hunting him down trying to convince people my baby is his. Insane work. Y'all, I'm a yapper. Y'all know I'm never speechless, brain broken. What a story to start off with. I sent her a photo of the birth certificate and us in the hospital together to show her sister before he can lie to her anymore. During this, I am also messaging another woman who is furious at what he has done and is helping me with all the information she is aware of. She tells me he broke her heart by cheating on her without even knowing he was cheating on me too. So far, I have the current timeline. Chemo in March, a 19-year-old. Rehab in April to July, a woman of an appropriate age this time, but also cheating on her. August to now, his 20-year-old girlfriend. Wait, we don't even know the ages. All right, OP's not the best storyteller in the world, but by God, does she have a crazy story to tell. I then find out his emergency cancer medication that he had to leave for in the middle of labor was actually him leaving because my 2 failed epidurals had me screaming in agony, begging the doctors for help because I thought I was dying, while the emergency team rushed in to place extra monitors on our baby who was in distress. And all of that was a huge turn on for him. So he needed to go sleep with a 20-year-old before making it back just in time to kiss me before I went into emergency surgery. Oh, ew. Just fucking ew. This was Sunday. It is now Saturday the following week. I made a post on Facebook calling out my partner for his actions with photographs, medical notes, and evidence, and asking people to leave me alone on Tuesday after 48 hours of no sleep. Multiple calls to the crisis team, and a barrage of harassment from his friends and family who want to sue me for character defamation. If this was a regular affair, I'd lick my wounds and move on, but I have now learned I have been leaving my daughter alone with a drug addict who is not only claiming he doesn't know me or his daughter to others, but also is demanding custody rights of my daughter. Tens of women have now come forward who have also dated him during our relationship with no idea of me or each other. This is obviously really upsetting, but what upsets me the most is that I begin to notice a very worrying pattern. He has told every single one of these women that he has cancer and can't get them pregnant. Yo, I was right. It was totally a baby trap. That is, whoa. Is that like kind of technically like stealthing or some shit? Like telling someone you're infertile when you are fertile and like hitting it raw? That doesn't seem legal, chat. Guys, I've never wanted a story to be more fake than this one. If humans like this exist, I give up. It's definitely stealthing. It would be classified as R-word in a lot of places. Holy shit, that is... I said my labor and delivery was difficult. I was induced due to an infection I had. My GP had told me I had an STI, and although I understood and took the treatment and was induced, my madly in love pregnancy brain never accepted it as an STI until I went back this week and checked my hospital discharge notes, and it was there in big bold letters, sensitive, partner STI. It just keeps getting worse. It does not stop. Oh my God. He has been telling women that he has cancer and can't get them pregnant so they don't need protection, which led to an STI, which almost killed me and his daughter in labor. And he wasn't even there to be with us because he was sleeping with a young girl who also believes he has cancer. Talk about a sentence that just shouldn't exist on this planet. Did I accidentally open r/am I the devil? Cause what the actual fuck am I reading right now? I want to go home. I want to go lay down and just never wake up. This is evil. I decided to let everyone know that he in fact does not have cancer by using a screenshot of his mom's messages, all the women he has slept with to make sure they take a pregnancy and STI test, and all his friends who he has been guilting for years over his condition, and also social services and the police for sexual endangerment. Ah, okay. I mean, not only that, but like, I feel like we could get him on more. Me and my daughter now have safeguarding in place for us from a local organization for women leaving abusive relationships, so I feel very safe to reveal the truth about him and make sure all of his partners are safe and informed, seeing as he couldn't uphold his legal obligation of declaring an STI. I guess his postpartum girlfriend will do it for him. I have also had contact from many of his old friends, band members, and ex-partners who have all gave me testimonies to use for the police and as backup for if his mom does in fact try to sue me. This man has been lying and manipulating women for over 9 years. So far, everyone is now aware of his lies, and I am waiting for my in-person meeting with the police. I can't imagine any updates from here, as it will only be a legal battle that probably can't be shared, but if anything else of interest comes to, I will make sure to write about it. Oh, also, my partner is a primary school teacher. I want to go home. This is insane. Let me sift through these comments because there's a lot, and I feel like there's a lot in there that I would like clarification. How long have they been dating? How old are they? Like, how the fuck did we get here? I need to know. So let me see what's going on here. To a removed comment, it's come to light this week that his ex-partners have been reporting him for years to no avail. His mom is on the school board and her best friend is his head teacher. I'm hoping with the added element of social services this time and an investigation into child endangerment for our daughter, they can't sweep it under the carpet any longer. Escalating the situation. We're in the UK. His complaints have been escalated to the LADO in the past, which is basically our version of what controls the school's judgment over any dangerous situations, but nothing happened. One of his exes have gave me all the details of their report to push that they ignored her, and it's escalated to this. What kind of shitty school board is hearing this from multiple women and isn't like, huh? Like, let's fire this fucking idiot. So someone asked what STI he passed to OOP, and OOP responded, "At the time, I refused further testing in denial and regret it so much. I was just given a course of antibiotics, and because my symptoms went, they left it at that for me. All I know is from the STI being untreated for so long, I ended up with strep group B, 2, which is why I needed to be induced. So I was on an antibiotic drip when my waters were broken, so my baby would be safe. She's perfectly healthy and faced no issues, luckily. I think I've been lucky, and whatever it was must not have turned into an STD because my medical documents only say partner STI. We also haven't slept together for a very long time now after my surgery, so I know I'm at least safe now." Okay, so someone's asking about how he managed his time with a job, a baby, a girlfriend, a mother, and many lovers. OOP. He would disappear from time to time and switch his phone off a lot. Not living together was a huge help for him. He would tell me he needed set days and times, etc., as he can only work in routines for his recovery. Obviously, I can look back now and see that really, he just needed to know which girl was where and when. I've been told by multiple people now that he will often just don't turn up to work because he's on a bender or at a woman's house, and I was kept in the dark because his mom's best friend is the head teacher and would cover for him. Holy fucking shit, that was insane. This has got to be the most evil human being that I've ever seen. The flags could not have been redder. If the doctors are telling you you have an STI, you should probably trust them. Were the doctors just not going to be like, "So, hey, bestie, like, now that the baby's out and, like, you're safe, let's address this, because, like, this wasn't a typo. There's only one way that this happens usually." Just insane. As someone who's blind to red flags, I would like to think I would at least see this shit. That man must have been sending her to orgasm heaven with that STI infested dick, because there's no other excuse. The red flag was jumping in her face and she ignored it. This woman is the victim. No doubt in my mind. We gotta point out the fact that, like, honey, neon flashing sign, red flag. And I'm only acknowledging it for the sake of, like, if y'all are in this situation, please, for the love of God, see the red flags. Don't ignore them. Please, 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 please. Update in the comments, February 10th, 2025, next day around 9 hours later. I've spoken to the police this morning. There is nothing they can do unless they find the drugs on his person in the school. So nothing is stopping him snorting a line before he starts work as long as he takes nothing else with him. They've implied the loophole is that they catch him behind the wheel, and if some reported him driving on drugs, they could catch him that way. Okay, so this is my limited knowledge of cocaine. Isn't that something that doesn't last an entire school day, chat? Like, a real addict is gonna take it to school with him. Also, aren't there so many other charges we could arrest this guy for? Sexual endangerment. I feel like R-word, or at least stealthing, is a good case. Like, why are we focused on the drugs? Cocaine hits quick and the effects wear off quickly too. They could catch him. Like, it's very probable. They said they can confirm that multiple reports and investigations have begun before even my report, so they are unable to share much information with me, even though his case involves me, but they told me it is imperative I apply for Claire's law and have helped me with the application. Claire's Law, also known as the Domestic Violence Disclosure Scheme, is a police policy giving people the right to know if their current or ex-partner has any previous history of violence or abuse. It can take up to 10 days for my in-person meeting to provide my documents, and then it can take several weeks for the information to be shared with me. Knowing what I do already, I feel sick that they have told me how important it is for me to make this application. I can't believe in a few weeks he's going to disgust me even further when I receive his police records. My only silver lining is that once I have the police reports on top of my medical reports, he doesn't stand a chance in family court, and me and my girl will be free to restart our lives together. Also, another little note, I've been looking for family court advice in a mom support group and have been informed that luckily she's only 5 months old and any name changes can be made before 6 months with only one parent's consent, and the witnesses don't need to be his choice. So I will be removing his surname and his grand's name from her middle name for her to take my surname and not have any more ties to his family. I just want to put an apology here as well, as a lot of people have commented on my poor writing. I am a new mom who was lacking sleep even before any of this came to light. Everything I've wrote has basically been just a big vent for me. I know I am no novelist, but I still apologize if it's been difficult to read. Okay, some of OOP's extra comments. Commenter, you should also look into the Offenses Against the Person Act in 1861. If he knew he had an STI and spread it to you and others by telling you all not to use any kind of protection, that may be illegal. OOP, my health visitor made the exact same point. She said she would look into it for me and make the report on my behalf, as she has a legal obligation to report everything I said anyway. My worry is when speaking to the police today, they said without physical evidence, they can't really do much, and even if multiple women came forward with the exact same claim, it's still hearsay and can't be pursued. I've checked all my past messages and can't find anything in writing from him that can be used. So you're telling me if 10 girls are coming to the police and they're like, hey man, this guy, STI, giving it to other people and impregnating them by telling them he has cancer and can't impregnate them, you're telling me that's not enough evidence? Oh shit, maybe the UK is just as bad as the US. I didn't know this shit. Holy fuck. That is disgusting. That makes me angry. That is ridiculous. Commenter, I'd get a lawyer fast. I think there's a law against sharing private messages now, but I think you should be fine since the other women are consenting to their messages being used as evidence. That might be a loophole. Also, there's a Facebook group of women who post guys in their crime, so people know not to date these individuals, and since it's a closed group, that they are careful who they let in there. He won't be able to get in because they're really good at sniffing out a nosy dude and kicking them. So you might want to add that in there so others don't fall for his tricks. OOP, thank you for your concern and advice. I've shown my support worker what I've shared, and she said everything is above board. He's also already been named and shamed in a couple of groups by someone he was speaking to on a dating app after finding out about me. I have only shown my own information. I would never expose another woman, and no one has been named but me and my partner. In all honesty, the post was more to prove that we had been in a relationship and had a child more than anything, as he was getting his friends and family to harass me, saying he didn't know me and gaslit me so much I started to doubt the past year and a half myself. I only said what he had done to me and just mentioned that I was aware now that he had affairs. I've gone in much more detail here about things with the safety of being anonymous. I shared photos of us together, text messages of our boring lives, love you more, we need nappies, etc., and my medical records showing the STI. In the UK, it's only illegal to show other people's messages without consent, and the only ones I have are saved to be used in court, with the women who have sent me their consent if it comes to it. As I'm the one who had sent the messages I've shared and there's no defamation, my social worker thinks I'll be okay. This commenter hyped up OP and OOP responded with something kind of wholesome. I don't know why this was the comment that finally opened the floodgates for me, but thank you. I think they're happy tears. I spent the last few months building up our rundown little council house. I managed to get us to make it in our dream home, all while caring for our little girl and giving more love and support to him and his family than I've ever gave myself. She falls asleep at 12 to 1 a.m. and I work through the night decorating and building the furniture. I keep forgetting that I've just given birth. I haven't even recovered myself. He made me into a mouse of a person and so dependent on him that I haven't felt strong at all. I think now I can see through clear eyes and realize how many women I've managed to help so far and the work I'm putting into to protect the children at his school. I do feel more proud of myself and hope one day my baby girl will be proud of me too. It shouldn't take an event like this to really get a woman to the level of hype that they should be, but you know what? Fuck it. We got there. That's all that matters. Someone accused OP of this being fake and OOP replied, I 100% understand why someone would think and say that. I completely admit I used a clickbait title. I've never wrote a post before, only read others, so just copied what I've seen online for the title hook. I wish the rest was fabricated, but sadly, it's actually very condensed to focus on his lies about cancer. I haven't even touched on details of the argument around the attempted break-in, which led to this. Why or how I found the other women on Facebook, or the argument with his new girlfriend and mom, which led me to discovering the extent she has been covering for him. I don't even dare to go in further details for people not believing the absolute shit show of the past week. I didn't even believe it myself. Yeah, we didn't even talk about how fucking crazy it is that the mom was like supporting his Genghis Khan seed spreading along with his STIs. Like, I don't know, maybe Genghis Khan was also spreading STIs. Actually, he probably was. Let's be fucking real. It's not like STIs were invented later on. Like, they probably existed back then too. I don't know, chat. I'm not the STI expert. But like, what the fuck? Once again, we thank God for Kathy, because if I were pulling this fuck shit, Kathy would beat my ass. Like, as she should, bro. This shouldn't have happened. Like, the mother should have been absolutely berating him at this shit. After a C-section, she's making furniture. Even if he did have cancer, like, the mom should have been over there supporting. Somebody should have been there helping her out. Update 2 in comments, February 12th, 2025. 2 days later, 3 from the original post. I have managed to provide enough evidence of drug use and emotional blackmail to the police to have a domestic abuse case open. This is going straight past the school to the highest authority to keep him away from children. This is huge news and gives me such a relief in knowing my child and others will be safe, but I still have that awful feeling of guilt for him. Just 2 weeks ago, we called each other bride and groom. Hold the fuck on. Did I miss something? Any point did she say that she was married to this guy? I don't think she did. Homegirl just casually dropped a fucking bomb that, oh yeah, by the way, we had our wedding 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago, we called each other bride and groom. I think it's going to take a while to grieve the person I thought I knew while dealing with the one I know now. I hope this is the point he actually goes to rehab instead of lying about it and can find happiness and restart his life. I don't think I want to make any more updates now. I am unbelievably grateful for the kind words and advice, but I originally just wrote this to get my emotions out of my head to help me sleep better. I know I used a clickbaity title, but I did not expect my post to blow up like this. Thank you all for helping and making my emotions feel validated in an absolute insane situation. Me and my little girl are going to be okay. Oh my God. Finding out he was in a feminist punk band is the perfect cherry on top. The fact that people like this exist in this world makes me so sad. This poor OP, bro. I hope this man goes to jail for the rest of his life. We need this man out of society for everybody's sake. That story took years off of my life. I'm going to be thinking about that one laying in bed tonight. I'm going to be like, what the fuck did we get into?